Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Ball. I'm Colly, and this week I'm joined by Paddy. Paddy, what's happening?
Hey, man, what's the crack? How are you?
I'm fantastic. And after all the grief I got from my broken driver last week, I ended up going out and shooting one of the joint best round that I've ever played. So
No mention of Chelsea.
no mention of Chelsea, because why would we mention Chelsea when I thought we were back and it lasted probably 2 minutes.
Some good news, though.
Well,
Because I'm sure we'll talk about.
are we talking about Poch? Is that what you're?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Paddy, we will be getting into that. We're going to look at the football from the last week. We'll have a look at some of the results and give our thoughts and opinions on it. We'll have a look at the fantasy football. Only 2 weeks left, Paddy, of the fantasy football. So we'll have a look at that and see how we are standing. What else do we have? That's it.
Top four running.
Well, yeah, we'll be chatting about a few kind of topics along the way, like the top four and relegation battle and stuff like that. And then we'll have the score predictions for the next week, I think. Chelsea and United are on next Thursday, so we still have another pod to do in between, so we'll be all right. Paddy, we're going to jump into the football review. Do we have to do this, Paddy?
I know we should have ideas off air, but how about a live pod for the match next Thursday?
Oh? I'm liking what you're throwing out there. You know that United are going to beat us, so that's why you want us to watch me live misery.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And I may just even online live for sure. Well, we can talk about that off air. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's a discussion for after the airwaves. Paddy, the first game, unfortunately, that we have to look at is Chelsea and Forest. I just want this fucking season to end, and that's just the God's honest truth. I just want this season to be over. I want Lampard gone. I don't mean I want him gone. I mean I just want Pochettino in now at this stage.
Which in turn means Lampard's gone.
Yeah. I mean, like it's gonna have to be said. Look, Poch was confirmed apparently this week. I still haven't seen an official post from Chelsea. Maybe they're waiting till the season's over. I'd like to see Poch at the next two games in the crowd.
I haven't seen an official.
I haven't seen an
official. Come from?
It's official from Fabrizio. So it came official from him that they've reached a full agreement. Everything's been done, and Pochettino has handed over his transfer targets. Do we say targets? Yeah, say targets. And then the people he wants to get rid of, and then apparently Mason Mount is another one he wants to get to sign a long-term contract as well. So that's what I want. I want Poch. I want to see Poch in the crowd. Because it's fucking bleak at Chelsea at the moment, Paddy. And I'm hoping next season I'm not as depressed as I have been this season, because this is the most depressed I've ever been watching a season of football. Like not one good thing has come from Chelsea this season.
I've never seen, like, it's hard to think of another fall from grace I've ever seen as bad as this one from Chelsea. Like literally there was talk of relegation battle.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago. And there was
only mathematically we were safe. Like we genuinely could have been in a fucking relegation battle. Like if we had have not picked up so many points at the start of the season, and I know I'm saying that and that's under Potter as well. But like if we hadn't picked up so many at the start, we really could have been in a relegation battle. Now, do you want me to sum up the season and how I think, or should we wait till the end of the season and let me sum it up?
I think wait, yeah.
Okay, right. We'll wait till the end of the season. I'll give me full analysis of Chelsea's season and why I think and where I think everything's gone wrong on it, because I want to go into detail on it. I don't want to leave any stones unturned. I want to talk in detail about why I think Chelsea have fucked up. And everybody's just going to come in and say they sacked Tuchel. There's more to it than that. But Paddy, this result was just classic Chelsea. Raheem the Dream scoring 2 goals. Second goal, was it the first goal or the second goal? One of them was a screamer. Anyway, I can't remember if it was the first or second one. Cracking goal. Great to see him on the score sheet. I actually like Raheem. Tries very hard, but I don't know, maybe he tries too hard at times. And then we just concede. We concede fucking 4 minutes after scoring. I put an Instagram story up. You think I'd be allowed to have a little bit of glory for a few minutes? 4 fucking minutes is all I got out of it. I said, we're back. Raheem the Dream. I'm singing his praises. I'm like literally impressed in post, and we were fucking 2-2 again. And I get about 20 messages going, that didn't last long. And I'm just like, what is the fucking point in even watching football anymore? That is honestly how I feel this season. Paddy, what do you make of this result for Chelsea?
Not surprised. I said last week on the prediction I thought Chelsea would win, but I knew they'd concede against a Forest team that really came at you. You know, it's like I think Forest's problems haven't been going forward this season. It's been defending. But I have a question to put to you about Frankie Lampard.
Now, don't start giving me these stats.
No stats. I just want to say, look, I think he may be out of his depth being a Premier League manager. He may make a good coach, but honestly, looking at his record now as a Premier League manager, maybe he is just a little bit out of his depth. What do you think?
I would 100% love to just sit here and say, no, you're wrong. But all I can do is look at the facts, and the facts are in the last 19 or 20 games overall with Everton and Chelsea, I think he's won one or two games. Like, so how can I argue with the facts? I mean, he ended up saving them at the end with Everton, but like he nearly got them relegated. At the same time, I know he was put in a tough position, but like I can't back Frank Lampard. I can't say to you, no, he's going to be a successful Premier League manager. I have no evidence of that. I have nothing that I can say. Here's fucking, it's in black and white here. Here's my stats. He's won fucking 60% of his games. He hasn't. He's probably lost 60% of his games. So I can't say.
So as a follow-on, this has been a really bad move for him professionally, hasn't it? Going to Chelsea, because
going back
it was
to
a
Chelsea.
bit of a poison chalice.
Yeah, I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think it is. Look, I think everybody knew Chelsea were in the shit. And in my opinion, I think we were in the shit before Lampard got there. It wasn't Lampard that put us into the shit. He's trying to dig us out of it. He's also trying to, I think he pretty much came out on one of his interviews and said, look, I'm playing these players and they're not performing. Maybe it's time to give some of the other lads that I'm not playing more time, which is what I want to see, because he wasn't starting Joe Felix. Your man Madueke, who we got from, I think it was like Ajax or something like that. He was brilliant. Even under Potter, he was brilliant every time he played. But for some reason, Potter wouldn't play him, and he kept playing fucking Ruben Loftus-Cheek, which I fucking complained about every single week. And then Mudryk as well. Like, Mudryk hasn't really played that much with Lampard, but he had 2 or 3 games where he was kind of playing, and like Lampard is just trying stuff because at heart he's a Chelsea fan as well. I know he's the current manager, but he is a Chelsea fan. He does want what's best for the club. He's trying to probably show Poch what he's got. I know that sounds like that doesn't really make sense, but my thought process, I'm thinking he's playing everyone he can play, so Poch can get a good understanding of what he's coming into. Give him a little head start. Now Poch is obviously going to come in. He's going to look at them in training, look at them in preseason, say you on your bike, you.
But again,
here we go.
Right, if you think like that, that's not a Premier League manager.
No.
Like, sure, I'll play the players and give the new manager a look, even though I'm a Chelsea fan and all, but fuck me, you wouldn't see like a top manager do that. You wouldn't see a Pep do that.
I can't call him a top manager, and I think it would take a lot for him to turn around that reputation that he's after creating for himself at the moment. But what I can say as a Chelsea fan, and him being a Chelsea lad, is that he's probably just come in to do the club a favor, and that's all it is. Now, he probably hoped that he would come in, get a massive bounce on the off chance, maybe turn everything around, fucking win 7 or 8 games in a row, get offered the job. You know what I mean? Like he took a chance, right? He took a chance, but at the underlying reason he came in was that we were in the shit, and Todd Bowley wanted time to bring in a proper manager and a long-term manager. So I can't fault him for taking the job. He's tried to do us a favor, but look, it hasn't worked out in his favor. And yeah, he's going to have to do some some damage control when he goes into his next job.
On the upside, you're scoring goals again.
Yep.
I know you're conceding, but you were having like great difficulty in scoring goals.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is an upside. But as you said, I'm sure you just can't wait for the season to end.
I just want this season to end. And Paddy, do you know what? Right, we have the likes of Nkunku coming in, who's a really good player. I know he's not an out and out striker. We are trying to sign the Napoli striker. I'm going to butcher his name, Uziman, or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm going to just call him Oos. We're trying to sign him. If we can sign him, I really think we could be in a good position. Like, if you watch Chelsea's performances, we're not the worst ball playing team in the world. Enzo Fernandez is really good
want
there.
To be with the players you have.
I know, and that's what I mean. We're not. I just find that from the final third, we can't score. So we kind of look at where we're not keeping many clean sheets. But when your attackers are attacking so much, and your defenders just keep pushing up, and everything gets pressed up. Like a lot of Chelsea's goals we concede are like balls over the top or balls in the channel with space behind, and the players are gone. We're pushing up so high, trying to just get that goal and create that chance, that maybe we do just lack a little bit in the back. And
look, what Chelsea need now, like they're screaming out for it, is a top class manager.
Yeah,
because even with top class managers, even when you're going through a bad run, they'll drag you through it and they'll get you firing again. And Poch is that man, and I see Chelsea, and it won't be a long turnaround.
No, I don't think so.
It will be a quick turnaround, and I think good things are coming next season for Chelsea.
And Paddy, as you touched on last week, we don't have to worry about any European competitions. I know that sounds ridiculous as a fan to say that it's a good thing,
right,
but it kind of is. Like Chelsea just need to get back.
Having that 7 days nearly to prepare for every single Premier League game will be invaluable for Pochettino.
Yeah, and especially with that squad depth that he's going to have, like that's I'm not jumping the gun here, but Chelsea are probably going to win the league next season.
I was just about to say, on paper, with the players you have, another couple of signings, you could very well be challenging.
Yeah, I think so.
It could
and
be.
People look at me and they go, "You're a fucking gobshite, and you're fishing there, like, you know." But like, I genuinely think that we could mount a challenge for the title, like.
Yeah,
Mason Mount one.
I think next. Now, I'm sure we'll do a season preview, but I think next season is going to be one hot stuff. I think challenging wise, I think there's about 3 or 4 that'll be able to win it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Paddy, anything else to add on Chelsea? I don't. I'm pretty much done on Chelsea there now at the moment. No. I'm fucking done on them for the rest of the season as well.
No.
Right, we'll move on to something that might cheer you up. Not that you were depressed, you're kind of happy about that anyway. Man United 2, Wolves 0. Paddy, talk to me about this result. Let me know your analysis. I
didn't actually. I was away the weekend, so I didn't actually get to see it. But I watched the highlights, and I suppose the biggest takeaway from the game was Martial scoring and Garnacho scoring in the last minute. Look, I've heard it said so many times by United coaches in the past, the score in the last minute, that feeling you get in the dressing room, the fans leaving the stadium, it's all feel good, and it's exactly what United need at the moment, because we had a run of away games. There's that stat about, Ten Hag losing so many away games, more than fucking Solskjaer and all. And then when he wins the Wolves game,
total.
And then he wins the Wolves game, and now he's the most successful Manchester United manager in their 4th season ever.
Yeah.
He's won. So it's how quickly can everything change, like, one game.
Now, Paddy, I said it to you, I think last week, and I said, well, he's lost more games than Ollie's ever lost, and fucking you said, oh, well, he's won more than anyone. We had a very angry fan get on to me to say that he wasn't happy how you just brushed over that. Andy McNulty was on, and he said he didn't like how you just brushed aside the fact that he's lost that many games. I mean, I think he wants it. I think Andy deserves a proper response on why you think United are failing under Eric Ten Hag.
I'm not getting into that type of discussion, because
he's doing it again. He's doing it again.
Shithousery.
But why,
I answered the question last week. The viewers don't want to hear me repeating myself, because all I'm going to do is repeat what I said last week. So
why are they losing so many games, though?
Sorry?
Why are they losing so many games?
because they played so many games. Why has he won so many games? Why has he won more games than any Manchester United manager in history, including Jose Mourinho, your horn? He won in his opening season, in his debut season. Why has he won more games than any United manager? Because he's played more games. He's gotten so far in all of the cup competitions, and he's in the Premier League. Look, and he if you look at where were United last season, they were one of the worst teams. They were Chelsea this season. United were they were so bad. Ten Hag came in perfect. We had Ralph Ragnick there last season. Perfect this season. No progress. Absolutely have we had progress this season. Massive progress. So yeah, he lost games along the way. But we'll take that if by the end of the season we finish in the top 4, FA Cup final and Carabao Cup winners. That's a successful season compared to last year.
Paddy, what is the latest on the owners? I know I asked you probably last week, but what's going on here? It's fucking radio silence at the moment. Have you heard? Have you any update on that?
Radio silence, and there's not even rumors. There was a rumor about obviously the Ineos group they were the preferred bidders, but then I seen another story. Then Avram Glazer was going into the Sheik's father's hotel during the week as well. So it's just all Chinese whispers. There's no concrete news whatsoever. Not even on Sky Sports. Nowhere. Even Fabrizio.
They're actually Qatari, not Chinese. Just saying.
Did I say Chinese?
You said Chinese whispers.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, so I've no idea, man. Absolutely none, zero.
Yeah.
Maybe they're waiting until the season ends or until top 4 is cemented.
And what I was thinking as well is that, look, you have had massive progress compared to last season, and you could still strengthen that squad definitely with like another centre half, another out and out striker.
Harry Kane and Yamaha. Supposedly there's a deal agreed for the South Korean defender that plays for Napoli.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. I'm gonna say Kim because that's what they're all called.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
Paddy, so how quick do you think that an owner can come in at this stage? So let's just call it. We're at the end of the season now. At this stage, how quick do you think an owner can come in and start investing in what he is going to have to be convinced by Erik ten Hag this is a good investment? Like, so an owner comes in, it's going to take what? Surely with a purchase of that size, you're talking weeks of paperwork and weeks of transitioning over. How quick is he going to release funds to Erik ten Hag that he can just go and say, right, here's plenty of time, go and buy what you want, and then have time to get them through the preseason as well?
Funds are there. There already. Like Manchester United is a massive corporate entity. They're not sitting there waiting for an owner to come in and take their wallets out. That's a business that's being run independent of an owner's money at the moment. That's a business that's being run and it runs on its own profits. And whatever players are needed will be got in terms of now. It's just a matter of who their priority is. So you think a striker would be the priority. So Harry Kane, maybe they spend 100 million on him. Then that defender is looking at about 50 million. I'm hearing about players being released already. So Phil Jones and Tuanzebe.
You wouldn't even think Phil Jones is still at that club.
I heard a story on Facebook today. Somebody saying, "Oh, why doesn't he get a testimonial for fucking what? Sitting on the bench for 10 years? Fuck off, will you?" Pulling a few funny faces.
That has literally been the best part of Phil Jones. Is the fucking faces he pulls when he goes in for a tackle. That's the best thing he's done. Like, it's fucking, that's absolutely ridiculous. And do you know what? Massively disappointed with how his career has turned out. I thought he had so much bags of talent when he was fucking with Blackburn. I was saying to everyone, I might have, don't know if it was the lads I was saying to, but I said next John Terry, next England captain when I seen him at Blackburn, and then he comes in. Fergie got him, but Fergie played him centre mid. So I think Fergie kind of.
No, not saying ruined as England's captain, future England captain, centre back.
But didn't Fergie not get him and then start playing him centre mid?
No,
I'm sure he is.
He was in the middle with fucking Chris Jones for years.
I thought.
Central defense. No, the odd time if they were stuck, they would have stuck him in CDM. But no, the majority of his time he was centre back. Sure, that's where he done all his funny faces when he was diving on the ground, getting kicked in the head. No, but no ownership. I don't know. Summer can't come quick enough in terms of. I just want to get this top 4 race done. Although I think we're safe enough in terms of even if we do drop a couple of points, I think Newcastle are going to drop points. And I think Liverpool might just nip in there. I think we might end up finishing third, and Liverpool might get fourth. Pains me to say.
I believe when Chelsea were 10th and Liverpool were 9th, I put out a video saying that Liverpool were going to get top 4, and I got fucking laughed at. Now, I as much as the next person, I really don't want Liverpool to get top 4. But it kind of leads me up to a bittersweet situation.
I think you said around Christmas Chelsea were going to get top 4 as well. So,
look, I've said a lot of things, Paddy. All right, so they may be the lead. We'll have a season review. We'll look at all the.
You throw enough shit, something's eventually going to stick.
Well, that's it. You throw enough shit, something is bound to stick. And look, I'm just looking at shit stuck on the wall now at the moment. So I'm hoping that I can fucking paint it. I can paint that shit stuck on the wall and make it look a little bit nicer. The rest is all falling off onto the ground, makes me look shit. So yeah, look. If they go into it, I get the glow. If they don't go into it, I get the glow. It's a win-win. You know, the kiss of death is with these videos. It's great. Anything else to add on Manchester United for this game?
I think not only are we looking at signing players, but I think some of the younger players that we have are going to be possible world beaters. I think Garnacho is going to be some player going forward. Amad Diallo, see the goal he scored?
Didn't see it.
And he's been playing very, very well as well. He's coming back from loan as well. So some really good youth talents coming up through as well. So
can I
good to get the results. We have an away game next against Bournemouth. If we win that, I think it's all about a finality, the top 4.
Can I ask you, Paddy? We haven't talked about in a while the Mason Greenwood situation. I did see that. I think it was Napoli or something like that. We're interested in him. Have you heard anything about him, or what's the update on him?
Yeah, I heard a rumor about Juventus, but
Juventus. It was Juventus.
Yeah, United won't be playing for United again anyway.
Don't think so.
I hope not. But no, there's been absolutely zero said by Manchester United themselves. I'm surprised there hasn't been more from his camp either. Although maybe he's been told the longer you leave it, people have very, very short memories. And you could end up seeing somewhere in the UK, but I think it will probably be a move abroad first, and then back to. I'm sure you can go over to one of those. Actually, no, I'm not going to say anything else just in case. Sounds extremely bad. So yeah, no, I don't know, no idea.
Just leave it out there. At that, Paddy. Move on.
Oh, my brain was like, shut the fuck up, Paddy. Don't say it. You have a job to keep. This could go viral. Saying nothing.
Right, well, we move off it then, so nobody remembers it. Right, okay. Next up, Paddy, we had Everton versus Man City. This was a big match because we obviously have Everton fighting for every point they have or they can get, and obviously Man City vice versa fighting for everything they can get. That doesn't make sense the way I've used that, but we'll just run with it anyway. Everton 17th position at the moment. We'll have a quick look at the league table. So it's between Forest. I suppose you have to put Forest in it. Between Forest, Everton, Leeds, and Leicester to go down. So currently 19th position is Leicester at 30 points, Leeds with 31 points, Everton with 32, and Forest are 16th with 34. So Forest 3 points clear. Obviously 2 games left to play. Forest have the worst goal difference out of them all. But this was a massive game for Everton. I think they probably even themselves wrote themselves off this one. Not really expecting a result, knowing what Man City needed to do. Paddy, how do you see this relegation battle ending up? I know we kind of need to look at games and stuff like that. I can kind of run through them real quick.
So just Leicester, Leeds, and Everton's. I think Forest might be safe.
I think so. So we got Everton's next game is Wolves away. Forest's next game is Arsenal at home. I think they might
lose that. Everton could win because Wolves are on their holidays.
Yeah. Leicester are playing Newcastle, who need to win to keep top 4. Who else have we got then? The last game of the season, then we go into it. It is Forest against Palace away. Who again, they're probably on their holidays. Leeds against Spurs at home. So that's going to be a tricky one for Leeds. And Leicester against West Ham.
Jeez, all right. Well, if I had to put my money on it, I'm going to say Leicester and Leeds to go down.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one.
I think Big Sam was brought in a little bit too late.
I would love to see Leeds stay up, and to be honest with you, I'd like to see Everton stay up as well. To be honest, I actually would have liked to see Leicester stay up as well. I don't think them 3 teams should be in that position. And I would have liked to see.
How many years ago was Leicester won the league? Less than 10 years ago?
Yeah. What year was that?
17 or something, was it?
15, 16 or 16, 17 maybe. But yeah, look what a fucking fall from grace that is like.
It's crazy.
So Paddy, looking at this game, 3-0 to Man City, we weren't too surprised on the result. We'll jump off it and we'll just move on to the next one because the next one is a little bit more interesting. Arsenal losing at home to Brighton 3-0, pretty much cementing the fact that they are bottlers, and we've called it from day one. And that was just the icing on the cake for me. It was a great thing to see Arsenal bottling it, and Brighton just do you know what, Paddy? There's small little bits of joy that I can take out of this season, right? And Arsenal bottling the league is one of them pieces of joy, and I have to just absorb them because if I don't.
And is this the London connection? Is this why you take so much joy?
It's nothing to do with London because I'm not English and I don't have a connection to London. And look, Arsenal are Chelsea's rivals, Spurs are Chelsea's rivals, all these London clubs. It's not a personal thing for me. I don't like Arsenal fans. That's one thing. I see them.
It's not a personal thing for me. I don't like their fans.
Hate them all. Y'all die. No, but I watch like the likes of Arsenal TV and stuff like that, and I just think Muppets. First word that comes to me, man, when I think of them, absolute Muppets. So that's why I don't really like them. I've seen scrappy games, which I suppose would more so, I think, with Spurs, where Chelsea and Spurs really go at each other. And I think for me, that's the type of rivalry. That's what sucks me into the rivalry is the feisty games, the ones where they fucking fly in with tackles. I don't know if you remember the Chelsea and Spurs game. I think it was probably 4 seasons ago. I remember Willian and Diego Costa and I were playing, and there was a massive scuffle on the sideline. I think Diego Costa came over and he gouged one of the eyes or something like that. It was absolute madness. Like, but that was what I wanted to see as a Chelsea fan, was just a bit of passion, like from the players. Something we lacked this season. But yeah, no, I'm not saying like I don't condone fingering people.
I want to see violence on my team.
That's exactly what I want to see. I want to see violence, but I want to see you get away with the violence. So yeah, that's the bit of joy that I've taken out this season. Paddy, were you surprised at all by this result?
Massively, yeah. Massively. And like, I thought they might be able to get a result, Brighton, all right, because they're a really good side. But 3-0 and to get those 3 goals in the second half, it's just how many points have Arsenal dropped now in the second half of games over the last, say, 10 games? It's so bad. We seen all the stats online on top for so many days compared to City. No team with that points total at Christmas or that amount of games won at Christmas has ever lost the league from that spot. It just sounds so bad, like it really does.
I love it.
And look, they won't be there again next season. Like, they might be as good next season, but I think other teams around them will be better. And yeah, they will not get that run that they got together for the first half of this season again, where they were just like
they definitely won't be in that position up at the top of the table again. I don't think they'll have that much of a gap. It was like 9 points at one stage, wasn't it? Like it was crazy. Like so Paddy, I have to, like, I know we're saying like Arsenal bottlers. I have to fucking commend Brighton for what they're doing this season. And look, you get rid of fucking Potter, and all of a sudden you're 6th in the table. Like, Am I crazy here? Is there a
Potter
common
was doing well at
denominator?
Brighton. Potter was doing well at Brighton, and that's why he got the Chelsea job. Like Potter, I believe, probably could have finished in a similar position with Brighton as they are now. It's just
I don't think so.
things didn't align with Chelsea, and there was too many players bought by your man Bowley. Yeah, it just didn't work out. But yeah, great job he's doing. And they're going to be selling some of their best players this summer, but they've already got signings coming in who look like they'll, slot right in. Good manager, good team.
Yeah.
But you just see teams like that, and you see a team now going down, the first team to be relegated this year, that was always a team that could churn out world-class players, but they just kept on selling them and selling them and selling them.
Yeah.
And there's only so long you can do that before what happens this year happens and you just get relegated.
Yeah. And even at that, they still have a good few players, but now they're going to have to offload them for a low price, like the likes of Ward Prowse and stuff like that. He's going to be snapped up, I'd say, by someone like a West Ham or maybe a Crystal Palace or something, one of them kind of mid-table teams.
Spurs would say I'll take him.
Spurs would even take him. Yeah, Spurs could do them. So there's going to be a few players that they're going to lose along the way as well. So it's worrying time for Southampton fans. There's one or two that are on the Instagram page that do message me saying it's depressing time. So you feel for the likes of them who have been in the Premier League for so long and now they're gone.
Look, they get their parachute payments, 100 million or something, and then next season, if they can keep the bulk of that squad together, they'll be winning nearly every week. So the fans will be great. A half price season ticket, and they'll be winning nearly every week.
Yeah, true. Hindsight, looking on the bright side there. What the fuck am I saying with me sayings? Why can't I get me sayings right? Shocking. Right, Paddy, we're moving on to the next one. Leicester and Liverpool, another 3-0 result here. 3-0 results in a row we had there. Paddy, I suppose we were... can you remember your score prediction on this one?
I thought Leicester were going to do something. I thought they were going to get a result. Yeah.
I think I said 2-2.
Seems to be strong at the back again. Or maybe it's just they're good going forward again, which again means teams just sit back and they don't attack them anymore.
Yeah, they really are finding a good bit of form now. They're sitting in 5th position. I suppose we've looked at it. They're 1 point behind Manchester United. There's 3 games left.
They only have 2 games.
Sorry, 2 games. Yeah, they have 2. United and Newcastle have 3. 66 points each for United and Newcastle, 1 point ahead of Liverpool, who are on 65. You kind of touched on it already there, saying that you think Newcastle might slip out. Do you think that's going to be Newcastle dropping points, or just because Liverpool have put this massive run together and are piling the pressure on so much that's what's gonna create nerves with that Newcastle team, who are an inexperienced team in that position?
They've a tougher run in as well. They're the toughest run in. They have Chelsea and they have Brighton.
Don't know about Chelsea. Chelsea probably should be a handy 3 points for them. We might do them a favour, Paddy, and let them beat us.
You just don't know. You like, even with United and Chelsea now, I'm thinking, right, if we can beat Bournemouth away and then Fulham at home, that Chelsea game is a wild card, because Chelsea could very well up their game for those, for the big team, especially against United. You know what I mean? We're going to Old Trafford. We're going to put on a performance here. Like, you can absolutely see it.
What tends to happen, I think, Paddy, is one of these teams, right? Arsenal or Newcastle, United or Newcastle. I bet you one of the teams is going to lose the next match. I guarantee it.
Well, Newcastle playing Brighton.
And it could be them. Well, who are United playing again, sorry?
Bournemouth away.
Yeah, you see, you'd like to think that that's a fucking shoe-in, but like maybe it's that where they get a little bit complacent.
It's where Liverpool last lost.
Yeah, so it's a tough one. It's a fantastic top 4 race. It's a fantastic relegation race. Everything in between is a lot of bollocks. But anyway,
the only saving grace for United going to Bournemouth is Varana's back. Garnaccio's in. Rashford has got a bit of a rest. And again, we've got this week break in between to prepare for the games. So I think we'll have enough to beat them.
Obviously, we have a lack of Connor this week. He has assured us that he will be back for next week. Is next week the season finale, or are we going to do another one after that? I know we're going to be
a season review, won't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe a little half an hour pod or something like that for a season review.
We'll have to talk about the FA Cup final as well.
Yeah, true. Not that I want it. Anyway.
I might want to either, actually, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe we will do that then. Paddy, we're gonna jump off the football review, and we're gonna jump into the fancy football. Just gonna pull up this screen here, so anybody that is watching on you list, fuck off. Anybody that is listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can go over to our YouTube channel and see our teams and see what we're talking about. Paddy, I'm just going to jump onto my team. It's still mid-game week, I suppose, because we still have another game, Brighton and Newcastle. So there is a few points that are still up for grabs. I got 68 points. Don't blow me on trumpet, but 2-2. 48 is the average. So I'll just run through my team real quick. Allison in goal. A nice little star beside his name because he got me 9 points. Love that. Ben White, shy. Dunk got me 6 points. White got me 1. Trippier got me 1. Still has another game left against Brighton. Salah got me 12. Joe Linton. Tell you what I done in a minute. 2 points from him. Martinelli 1. Odegaard 2. Gakpo 3. Callum Wilson, Paddy. I took a 4-point hit on him. 24 points as captain. 7 for Haaland. So what I done, Paddy, was I brought in Dunk and I brought in Joe Linton, right? And then me thinking, you fucking gobshite, you never brought in Wilson, who's been their best scorer in the last couple of games. And I said, you know what? I had 2 free transfers, and I said, I'm going to take a 4-point hit on Wilson, and I'm going to take out Ollie Watkins. And what a fucking masterclass that was. Solanke on the bench got me 2, Kilman 2, and then Williams and Ward. Nothing going on there. So that was me, Paddy. Happy week for me so far, anyway. On to yourself. Tell us how you've done.
52, just above average. All right, have a couple of games still to go. Ederson got me 8. White, Trippier, and Schär 1 each. Rashford didn't play. Diaz 3. Martin. Oh, me will come in. For 11.
Oh yeah, I just popped that one in the screen. Yeah, you like that one, didn't you?
Boom. I meant to do that as well.
Yeah.
Salah got me 12. Haaland, Martial, and Isaac all done well up top as well. I took a hit for Isaac as well. I wasn't thinking of Wilson because of the double game week. But look, he's not doing too bad.
Sorry, Paddy, I interrupted you there. Just explain for anybody that's listening what you're seeing there.
Me will come on for Rashford because Rashford was injured and he has 11 points. So add 11 to my 52, which is 63.
Woo, good maths, quick maths. Okay, Paddy, good week. Still a few points to go. And we'll have a look at Connor's team. Oh, Connor's done pretty well. 55 points, 48 average. So he's got Pope in goal with 8 points. Still has another game against Brighton. Saliba injured, didn't play. Shaw with 8 points. Me with 11. 1 with Bourne. Rashford 0. Trossard 2. Kevin De Bruyne 0. Did he play? Didn't play. Haaland 7. He has Kane as captain with 14. And Ollie Watkins with 4. He has March on the bench, who is injured by the looks of it. He has Bueno and the Silva, so not much coming off his bench there. We'll have a look at the full league table, Paddy. See where
Harry Kane. Like, look, Tottenham are doing so bad, but he just, even in a bad squad, he just can't but not score, can't he? Know? Like, he's just a machine, absolute machine.
Yeah. I'd have Manny there at Chelsea. We have Connor Ennis still top with
with 30 points. Wow.
By 30 points. So a good lead going into the last 2 weeks. Francis Bellardi has been climbing the table ever since February.
I haven't noticed him.
Yeah, he's been flying up. 100 points this week he got, so he's 30 behind, so he's in second. Colly Lamb has fallen off a bit into third with 2,385. Sean McDermott is up to fourth. Adam Doyle's down to fifth. Tony Tam up to sixth. O'Shane Kane up to seventh, who was leading it for a while. Colin Davis, Eric Ten Slags up to eighth. Lee Dillon in ninth, and Shane Burke drops down to 10th. So that is the way we stand. Paddy, should we have a quick look for the laugh at who's last?
Yeah.
Just for the laugh, because we're coming up towards the end of the season. Connor. It'd be gas, wouldn't it? Patrick Keane, bro, United. I like it. 1,307 points. So, yeah. You're shit.
What does that mean, bro? United,
Bro. You know, like bro. Like bro. Jesus,
bro.
Paddy, you're so old, man.
Yeah, but
Imagine not
like
knowing.
if I don't like bro United, that's just what bro
No,
United.
it's like bro. Like
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Bro. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
What up, what up,
Bro
what up?
United.
What up,
Bro
bro?
United. That's
Uh,
brilliant, man.
Anyway, you send him a message or something and call him out for it, Paddy. Call
I
him out.
just called him out live on air, Facebook, live on the Facebook, and the YouTube, and the Twitter.
Oh, the Twitter, boy. Okay, Paddy, that is the end of the fancy football. So we're going to jump on to the predictions. I'm just clicking every fucking button under the sun here. I'm just clicking random stuff, and the fucking screen is going massive and all. I don't know what I'm doing. Paddy, the first game is Newcastle and Brighton. Give us your score predictions on this one. Great game.
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, and Isaac to score first because he's in my fantasy football team, and I'm hoping he will.
Paddy, I actually think Brighton are gonna nick a win here. I'm gonna say a 2-1 win for Brighton. The reason I think as well is that they're fighting for Europa League and Spurs are on their tails. Now they have 2 games in hand over them and they're 1 point ahead of them, but they need to pick up points. And you could be right in the draw, but I'm gonna say that Brighton are gonna beat them. They've been flying lately, and I just think for some reason there's something about Brighton this season. So I'm gonna say 2-1 to Brighton, and I'm actually gonna say Danny Welbeck to score. He hasn't scored in a while, so I'm gonna say him. Next one, Paddy, Bournemouth and Manchester United. What do you think?
Dave De Gea, after winning the Golden Glove, another plus point from the game of the weekend. I think we'll keep a clean sheet, and we'll nick a goal. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win, and I'm going to go for Garnacho to score again.
You love Garnacho, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I think he's gonna.
He's becoming your favorite player. I can see it.
Oh, I think he's something special about him. He has that Old Trafford, like, he gets you off your seat. He does get you off your seat. Like, that's what I expected to see from Sancho.
Yeah,
like you know, with no fear. Defenders would be afraid when he's running at them. But Sancho has failed with that so far. But he's only 21. Hopefully, Garnacho gives him the kick up the arse he needs.
Yeah, I think this will be a handy enough one for Bomber or for Manchester United. But I think it's going to be a handy one for Man United. We'll cut that out. What live? Is it death for Manchester United? I'm going to say 3-1 to United, and I'm going to say Bruno Fernandes to score. I think he's going to score 2. Paddy, Liverpool and Aston Villa. How do you see this one going?
Look, I'd love to have that feeling and think, oh, Villa are going to get a result here, but no, I think Liverpool now are going to win their last 2 games of the season, and it's up to United and Newcastle to stop this evil from getting into the Champions League. So I'm going to go for Liverpool win 2-0 and Cody Gakpo to score.
Do you know what, Paddy? Right, I think we're overlooking this match as a potential walkover for Liverpool. I don't think it's going to be quite as simple. Villa are still in contention to get a European spot in that Conference League, and they're joint 57 points with Spurs. So they're going to want to pick up every single point they can get. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is a lot tighter than we think. And for that reason, I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. And I'm going to say Villa are going to get something out of this. Reason I'm saying it is because they're still gaining a point. Liverpool are still going to gain a point on Newcastle, who I think are going to lose. This is my thought process behind it, because I did say one of them are going to lose, but Liverpool are still going to get top 4. I think Brighton are going to lose. Liverpool are going to draw.
Who was the better goal difference now? Sorry.
So 32 for Newcastle and 28 for Liverpool. So only 4 in it. So it'll be a swing of maybe 2, and then it gets a lot tighter then. So I'm going to say a 2-2 draw with Liverpool and Villa. And I'm going to say... Who am I going to say? I'm going to say Ollie Watkins is going to score. I think this is his time to shine. It's the same step up. Paddy, the next one, Forest and Arsenal. Again, we looked at Forest and they are probably safe. Arsenal won't want to just walk over, get walked over now at this stage. They won't want to lose this match. So I actually think they're going to bounce back and they're going to massively destroy them. I'm going to say 4-1 for Arsenal. And I'm going to say Saka to score. What do you think?
I think who plays first the weekend, City or Arsenal?
City. Arsenal, I believe.
I think the shock of losing the Premier League will start kicking in this weekend. And I think Arsenal will either draw or lose this game, simply because it'll be a similar situation to Liverpool being on the cusp of winning the quadruple last season, and then this season it took them nearly 3/4 of the season to get over. It mentally affecting this Arsenal team, and I think Forest coming at them could get a weakened Arsenal defence, 2-3 goals. So I'm going to go for a 3-2 win to Forest. I think Arsenal will score first, and I think Odegaard will score.
Fair enough. Paddy, on to the last game of the week for us anyway. Manchester City and Chelsea. I've said it before, I'll say it again. My dad and my brother are Manchester City fans. How they would love to win the league against Chelsea. Do I see it happening? Absolutely. I think they will absolutely spank us in this game. Chelsea rely heavily on their dominance in games where they just control the possession and they hope they can score. They're not even going to be able to control possession in this game. So they're going to be under a lot of pressure. I think City are going to hammer them 3-0. And I'm going to say Jackie Grealish to score. What do you think?
Yeah, City are just going to win. I'm going to say 3-1, and that's being generous to Chelsea. And Haaland to score. Yeah.
Okay. Paddy, that pretty much wraps us up. It's nice to be able to talk about a couple of other teams. Usually we only do the United, Liverpool and Chelsea, but it's nice to be able to talk to a little bit in depth of other teams when it kind of means something a bit more.
It's funny from your perspective that Chelsea have nothing to play for now, but you have such a big role in the running of this. So you've got Chelsea, you've got Man City, you've got Newcastle now during the week.
Yeah.
Then you've got Man City, you've got United.
Yeah.
You know, these games you could completely disrupt a club season.
I was only talking to there's a guy that works in the place where I work, and he's an older guy. He's probably 60s, late 60s or so, and he's fucking Man United mad. And he's a very straight to the point, says it as it is, but he's diehard Man United, you know. And I was talking to him, and we always have good chats about Chelsea. And I said, look, the season's pretty much over. And I literally said the same thing to him. I said, but Chelsea won't want to just roll over now. They'll want it so they've done nothing all season. But what they can do is they can have an impact on somebody else's season and take that little bit of glory from it. And I think that's what they might look to do. Will they do it? I don't think so. But it is something that might be playing in their mind. Let's fuck somebody up here. Let's the whole of fucking Europe's looking at this little run in here. Let's go and get a result. Let's take points from United. Let's fuck their top 4 race up.
Yeah.
Could happen, you know.
Although Chelsea love fucking Liverpool over.
Yeah, I know, they love it.
So if Chelsea could roll over for Newcastle and United just to stop Liverpool getting the Champions League spot, that would be funny as well.
If we lose against City, we give City the league, and then we'll lose the other 2 games just to let Liverpool fuck off. So look, everybody's gonna be a winner, except for Liverpool fans. Paddy, that's pretty much all we have time for now. It's been a good pod. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, that's okay. Just to make sure you didn't actually have a stroke, because there was definitely a few hiccups with the old vocab this week.
There was. Now I have a blister on my lip. I'm gonna blame that. Fuck it. You know, I have to blame something.
How'd you get that?
it's not me as a presenter,
Probably
as a
something in your
host.
mouth.
You know, it's never, you know, lyrical genius.
Probably something in your mouth.
No comment. But it has 2 round things at the end of it. Paddy, we're gonna end it there on that horrific note. If anybody is watching us on YouTube, make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, something again. Make sure you go to our YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Give us a follow, like, subscribe, comment, do all that good shit, and we will have a chat, which is there. Instagram is good. You know, I always get messages on Instagram, and it's good for the old chats and the venting for football fans. Paddy, have you anything to add at the end of this episode?
No, my 2 screens just went blank there, so I got a little bit afraid.
Can we get a quote from you? This wasn't in the playbook, but can we get an inspirational quote for the listeners? Just make one up.
If you're having a bad week, you're like really, really a bad week, and you know you need to just make it through to the weekend. Just think you could be a Chelsea supporter.
Fuck you. Right, that's it. We'll see everybody next week.